Chapter 22 of Angel Food for Jack and Jill. Little Talks to Little Folks by Reverend Gerald T. Brennan. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Maria Therese. Chapter 22 The Little Man in the Tree. If Jesus were to come to our city tomorrow, what would you do? Oh, I think I know the answer. If Jesus were to come tomorrow, you would go to him and you would try to meet him. Well, that's just what the people did when Jesus lived on this earth. Wherever Jesus went, large crowds turned out to see him. The people wanted to hear Jesus speak. They wanted to see him perform a miracle. A short time before he died, Jesus went to the city of Jericho. Of course, that was a great day for the people of Jericho. They crowded the road and everyone tried to have a good place. Everyone wanted to see the great Jesus. Now, that day in Jericho there was one man who had a very hard time. That man was Zacchaeus, and he was very short. Zacchaeus was so short that I suppose his friends called him Shorty. Naturally, Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus, and he tried very hard to get a good place. Well, every time Zacchaeus tried to push his way through the crowd, the people pushed him back. Time and time again he tried to get to the front row. But every time the people blocked his way. Poor Zacchaeus! There he was, a little fellow standing in the back row. He might just as well have stayed at home because he could see nothing. The tall people refused to give Zacchaeus a chance. Zacchaeus was worried. Jesus would soon be coming. Jesus would soon pass down the road. Everyone would see Jesus. Everyone except Zacchaeus, the little man in the back row. All of a sudden, Zacchaeus had an idea, and it was a good one. What do you think he did? Zacchaeus ran as fast as he could along the edge of the crowd, and finally he came to a tree. Yes, you guessed it. Zacchaeus climbed up the tree and sat on one of the branches. Now he had a good place, the best place of all, and he could see everything. Now he would certainly see Jesus. At last Jesus came down the road. The people smiled and cheered, and many of them pointed to the man in the tree. Yes, Jesus saw Zacchaeus all right, and he must have been pleased, because Jesus did something that surprised the crowd. Jesus stopped, looked at Zacchaeus, and spoke to him. "Zacchaeus," said Christ, "hurry up and come down, for I must stay in your house today." Well, it didn't take very long for Zacchaeus to get out of that tree. The little man was so excited that he almost fell out of the tree. And in a short time, Jesus and Zacchaeus walked down the road together. That was a great day for the people of Jericho. They saw Jesus and they were very happy. But the happiest man in Jericho was Zacchaeus. He not only saw Jesus, but he had Jesus as a guest in his home. All of the people wanted Jesus in their homes, but Jesus honored only one man. Jesus honored Zacchaeus, the little man he found sitting in a tree. Do you know, boys and girls, that Jesus wants to visit your home? Yes, Jesus wants to be a guest in your soul. Jesus wants to come to you, and he wants to come often. Every time you receive Holy Communion, Jesus comes to you and he brings grace for your soul. Wouldn't it have been terrible if Zacchaeus had refused to let Jesus come to his house? Yes, that would have been awful. Yet, that's just what you tell Jesus when you don't receive him in Holy Communion. You tell Jesus that you don't want him, that you don't need him. Now, I don't have to tell you that that's wrong. Jesus wants to come to you, and many times you refuse to let him come. Zacchaeus had Jesus in his home for just one day, but you can do better than that. If you wish, you can have Jesus every day. At least, you should have Jesus with you every Sunday. You need Jesus, and you need his graces. That's why you should receive Holy Communion often. So, make it a habit of receiving Holy Communion every Sunday. Start off every week in the right way by receiving Jesus in Holy Communion. Children, Jesus is knocking on the door of your heart. He wants to come into your soul. Open that door and keep that door open. Let Jesus come to you often in Holy Communion. End of chapter 22.